Sorry, Dems. It is Tuesday, March 31st in the United States and Canada, and this is a show called What Chaos from the Sports Interaction Studio. My name is David Bean. I sit beside Pete Blackburn, and holding it down in the City of Champs is Sean DePaz. Pete, were you actually adjusting, or were you brushing some dirt off your shoulder for being on time?
I was actually adjusting. Sorry.
Well,
it would have been way cooler if I was brushing.
you had a bit of a
shoulder.
gangsta lean to it.
Flexing on everybody.
I was into it.
Yes, I've been known to frequently gangsta lean. That's what I've been accused of many times. Sean, how are you this morning?
Very good. I'm going to a Sabres game tonight.
Fuck yeah. I was looking at Bruins Stars prices before the show started. I haven't looked at the rest of the slate today, but Bruins Stars seems like it could be a real good time.
Yeah, it does sound like it could be a good time. I'm just very excited to see Matthew Schaefer in person.
I thought you were going to say you were going to see the best young player in the league, plus Matthew Schaefer was going to be there.
Who's the best young player in the league? Which one
Fucking
of the many
pick anyone on
players?
the.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Sabres
I
have a
didn't know if
young
you were-
roster, man.
I know Ostland, I think, is my best young player that people don't really realize is a great young player.
Chat's pointing out that we are color matching to the high heavens
all
today.
of us are.
You've got blue. I've got two shades of blue.
So do I.
I've got
Is that like
Hunter
a
in
very light muted blue? I thought that was like a white or a gray.
Oh yeah, this is like a color balance fucker. Where if like I were editing a video with this, I'd assume that this guy was wearing a white shirt. Click it, fuck the whole thing up. Yeah, this is blue.
Nice. And Sean's got blue on? Is that
this
the Hunter
outfit
hoodie?
was also brought to you by DJ Bean.
There you go.
You've this is oops all gifts because Pete, you got a nice St. Louis Blues jersey over your shoulder.
Yeah, I know.
I'd like
Fuck
to
you, Young Gritty. I was going to move it, but I may as well give it one show where the Blues have their moment. The Blues, and even the lights are blue.
Pete's gonna get Young Gritty back. Pete is currently bedazzling a recently printed copy of Harry Potter that he's going to send to Young Gritty, and then when we find out that Young Gritty owns it, done. Bye, Young Gritty.
I fucking like Harry Potter, everybody. Is that okay with anybody? No, it's not. I know. All right. I like Harry Potter.
Bad guy.
It's fine.
You don't like J.K. Rowling.
That's right.
Fuck J.K. Rowling.
I don't like J.K. Rowling, but Harry Potter's my boy.
Happy Trans Day of Visibility. By the way,
Is it really?
If
Fuck
we're gonna
J.K.
bring up,
Rowling.
yeah, if we're bringing up
Okay.
J.K. Rowling, happy Trans Day of Visibility. And fuck J.K. Rowling.
Super chats today go to chat. Tell us the trans organization of your choice, and super chats today go to that. Fuck J.K. Rowling.
There you go. I like that. Not bad.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Fuck it. Tell the folks on the show today, Pete.
Today on the show, the Leafs fire Brad Treliving. Who could have seen it coming? Maple Leafs are in a great spot. I can't believe they fired their GM. It's a very sad day for Bruins fans. Alex Lyon joins the show. First player guest in a long time, but worth the wait because Alex Lyon rocks.
He insists that he's not the first player guested in a long time because he's trying to convince us that he's like not even really like a goalie and not really good. And
If you like gaslighting, chat, this is a good interview for you because Alex Lyon gaslit us into thinking that we had players on the show that we didn't, and then he gaslit himself.
yes,
Sort of.
Yes, but
Stay tuned for what that means. And then new favorite wise ass. What's that about?
He's joking.
He's joking.
Who's joking?
Coach is joking.
Oh no, it could be that.
Oh,
Could be
that's what I
that. It
thought
could
you
be.
were.
There are a couple. There was a bit of joking yesterday that went on, and we'll get into some of that.
And finally, chicken chat.
Oh,
Chicken chat.
it's
You know what that means. It's Kyle Connor's time to shine.
Yes.
it's DJ's new favorite wise ass.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I know what that's referencing now.
Let's begin. We usually like when something funny and stupid happened, and then we can watch a video and laugh about it and then riff on it. But let's take this for funny and stupid. The Toronto Maple Leafs exist. That's enough material right there. They fired general manager Brad Treliving after almost 3 years on the job. This from Jonas Siegel in The Athletic, I think sums it up. The why of it all is not shocking at all. In less than 3 seasons, Treliving took the Leafs backwards and leaves them in a worse position than when he got the job. Suddenly, in the spring of of 2023 after Brendan Shanahan fired Kyle Dubas. The team is older and less talented and now at risk of having Auston Matthews decide he wants to go elsewhere this offseason. A lot to unpack there. I'll run through some key moves by Treliving. Last year, he traded Fraser Minton, a 2025 fourth-round pick, and a top-5 protected 2026 first-round pick for Brandon Carlo at 15% retained. We're going to talk about that later on the show because we talk about that pick all the time on the show because it's like the lifeblood of Pete's life.
It just completely reversed the Bruins like prospect pipeline.
Whole thing just took them from permanently dried up to just fruitful.
I feel like there's nothing coming.
Also,
Couldn't
last
have
year,
to a better franchise.
Yeah. Also,
and
just
I mean
like
that about the Leafs.
The overall handling of of Scott Laughton. Last year, they traded Nikita Grabenkin and a conditional 2027 first rounder for Scott Laughton, who they ended up trading this year for, I want to say, a third-round pick. So not great management there. And then I also threw in there just like handling of Mitch Marner. I think that he gets maybe too much shit for the handling of Mitch Marner, but last year unsuccessfully tried to trade Marner at the deadline for Mikko Rantanen. It was reportedly vetoed by Marner. Again, I don't know how much of that I put on the GM, where like, what were they gonna do? They were competitive. They were buying. Like, I don't hate a lot of what Treliving did. It just happened to all blow up in his face, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that he did a bad job. I think that if you're looking for a reason to criticize him, you don't have to go to like Mitch Marner declined a trade that would have got you Mikko Rantanen.
Yeah, but
the handling of Mitch Marner, I think, is fair to criticize. Like when they traded him, what they ended up trading him for, like just kind of that whole experience was not amazingly handled, but the Rantanen of it all like would have been an amazing solution that he almost pulled off if it weren't for Marner.
They still ended up with like a first-round pick basically for losing Marner because they flipped Waugh for a first-round pick, a conditional first-round pick, but whatever. Conditional first-round picks don't matter. Don't read into the conditions. That's what the Toronto Maple Leafs do, and that's why they're about to give the Bruins a top 10 draft pick probably. But big question, why now? Why not at the deadline? I always find it weird when a team is going to move on from a GM and they kind of do, like different teams have done it different ways where sometimes you'll maybe tie a hand behind the GM's back and be like, you can make some moves, check with us first, but why wouldn't they just move on before the deadline when they did have like assets to move?
Yeah, I mean, I find it funny that a lot of the why now conversation that came out of yesterday was like, why now and not the offseason? Whereas you're phrasing it the right way, which is why now and not like 3 months ago.
I definitely know why now and not the offseason, which is they have to figure out their coaching situation.
Well, Elliot Friedman also said that Treliving was like, if you're going to fire me, just do it now. And so they did it now. But yeah, letting him handle the trade deadline when, as you ran through the list of examples, he's not very good at trading or maximizing the value of his assets. That's a bit concerning. And I think that, like, to a certain degree, a lot of what's happened under Brad Treliving's tenure, whether you want to put it on him or the people above him, has been an unwillingness to be bold or aggressive and just do these pretty boring hold the line type moves.
Yeah.
And that's an additional example of that. Like they should have just pulled the plug knowing that this season was not going the way that they saw it going. Maybe they were holding on to hope that with an open Eastern Conference, one that has allowed the Philadelphia Flyers to enter in with like two weeks left in the season and enter the playoff race, maybe they were holding on to hope that could happen and they just hold the path. But you should have you probably knew that Treliving wasn't your guy at the trade deadline, and you definitely shouldn't have trusted him to get you back on the right path.
I think the fact that you were selling at the deadline indicated that you knew Treliving wasn't your guy, that you're in this position and you're going to kind of pivot and sell, be worse, knowing this is a lost season. I think that the fact that you're in that situation in the first place is a shock to everyone. I did not think the Leafs were going to be this bad. I think I probably had some stupid preseason, like maybe they rally together and they're a little tougher looking now or whatever. Like, they've been horrible. It's been a disaster. Obviously, Matthews gone for the year, but they were even bad before that. I think, though, that the timing of this, like the why now, why not the offseason, is, like I said, Craig Berube is probably not long for a job, and there are interesting candidates out there. Bruce Cassidy, obviously Peter DeBoer, and that's not to mention the one or two good coaches that's going to shake free after the playoffs, because that always happens. Nobody thought that DeBoer was going to be available last offseason.
Yeah.
So, like, you want a GM in place who knows, A, that Berube isn't his guy, and B, what direction he wants for the next coach. So, like, finish this ideally, like, by the end of the playoffs, you have your next GM in place.
Also, not to be lost in any of this, the Craig Berube of it all. Like, Craig Berube was hired and given a strong say in player personnel decisions. He brought to the table, told Brad Treliving the type of roster that he wanted, the type of team that he wanted. Brad Treliving went out and got those players. Maybe he identified the wrong players clearly, but this is not just Brad Treliving's vision for the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is also Craig Berube's vision for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it has just flopped tremendously. And I think that obviously Berube has to go, but Berube also owns a lot of the blame and for how bad this has gone.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why I would assume, like, they need to clean slate this thing, I would assume. And I think the Berube's...
Well, how deep do you want to go in that discussion?
Well, I don't know if it's my call or if it's their call. I think that they should want to keep Auston Matthews. They should, like, there's parallels to another team we talk about here where there's a player with 2 years left on his contract after this. And if the player leaves, they can kind of fuck the franchise. I will say, what I will say is different in the Leafs case versus the Oilers case is, like, I don't think if you can recoup picks and you can like, they don't have their own first round pick this year, obviously. They don't have their own first round pick next year, but they do have Colorado's first round pick, and they have 2 second round picks next year. So, like, they can restock the cupboard if they want. I think they are at sort of an inflection point where they can decide, are we close to getting this thing back on the rails around Auston Matthews? And Auston Matthews is an amazing place to start that conversation when you're building a team. Or are we
theoretically?
Yes, in a vacuum? And unfortunately, vacuums are, it's not, the in a vacuum conversation doesn't work in certain Canadian markets because there's just like an energy there and there's a pressure that I think makes things a little more hectic. But if you think we're not a few moves around Auston Matthews away from getting back to where we need to be, we're getting older, do you press the Auston Matthews button? And again, I say that that's more probably of an Auston Matthews decision than a Leafs decision, because it would take insane chutzpah to, a year after losing Mitch Marner, say, all right, we're open for business as it relates to Auston Matthews.
Well,
but
it's also an Auston Matthews decision because he has a no movement clause.
Yes. But I'm saying, like, I think it's more his call on, does he want to be there or not?
I agree. Yeah. And like do you have enough to build around moving forward and reshape this team? I think, like, on paper, the answer might be yes, because you've got Matthews, Nylander, Nyes. Like, that's a really good trio up front of talent to build around. And they're obviously, like, those guys are not old. They're all under 30 years old. But the question then becomes, well, do you believe in that trio being able to be the trio that leads your team? Because we've seen it run back so many times where at least Matthews and Nylander are 2 main pieces and they can't get the job done for whatever reason, whether it's in the DNA of the Maple Leafs, whether it's in the DNA of those 2 players or the additional players that were part of that core. Like, you haven't been able to accomplish anything when you've had much better teams around those guys. They haven't been able to lead the charge. Then there becomes the question of defense. Like, Morgan Rielly is your quote-unquote number 1 defenseman.
That is insane.
That is so
still happening.
bad. They've been looking for a number 1 defenseman for so long. It is very hard to get those guys. How do you do it? The free agent class sucks ass. this year. We'll see what it becomes after that. Like, I don't think the path is as optimistic as it may look on paper for this team.
No. Like, the next guy or gal, whoever may take over, I think is in such a weird spot, because you go in there and you're like, wait, is this supposed to be good or is this supposed to be bad? Like, they do need to pick a lane. And this season, the lane has sort of been picked for them with the performance. But is it Doug Armstrong next? He leaves the Blues. He leaves Hockey Canada. Like,
all indications seem to say that guy does not want to continue working in hockey, at least not to the degree that he's been working. So to say, like, years in advance, say, I want out of this Blues job. Let's have this like 3-year transition runway, and I'll also step down from Hockey Canada, to then take the most pressure-packed job in general managing in the National Hockey League would be a complete 180. I'd be pretty shocked if he ended up taking that job.
Have we not said Kevin Adams yet?
Not out loud, but the chat has, and I put that message up. Why not? That would be that. I'm sure Leafs fans would love that. A guy that just destroyed the Buffalo Sabres, at least in the minds of a lot of people who aren't paying too close of attention, I guess. Inexperienced, taking over the Toronto Maple Leafs. I also just have to say, I feel like it is my responsibility to suggest the possibility of Connor McDavid and Austin Matthews joining forces somewhere, taking pay cuts just because they want to win.
Tampa, baby.
No, because
people
then
forget.
Yes.
The tax,
state income tax. Yep.
I don't know, because then like neither one of them gets full credit when they actually do win, or if they do actually win, because you both couldn't get it done on your own. Like that conversation, we don't have to go down that road.
No,
but
I hear what you're saying, but is it not like?
Also, Connor McDavid hasn't been able to win with a better player than Austin
I was about to say he's moving to a worse number two.
It's just
it's
really
not like it's not KD.
If they did that, I think what he'd be doing, like, let's play this. 2 years pass. McDavid and Matthews are both free agents, and Matthews has had trouble staying healthy. Like, who knows how he's gonna age? But say they both say, okay, we're going to Tampa. What McDavid's doing there is, I think, ever so slightly downgrading his number 2. And if Matthews is still what Matthews has been, upgrading his number 3. Like Kucherov, like going from Draisaitl to Kucherov, I think is like sort of a wash. Although theoretically he'd be maybe on a line with Kucherov, which would bump that way up. And then his second line center is not Draisaitl, but Austin Matthews is nothing to sneeze at. It's just a little deeper.
I mean, let's be honest. If Matthews is going anywhere, he probably wants to go to LA, because there is a clear path down the middle, and it's LA. And Austin Matthews screams LA.
He's very Hollywood, but then he's gonna be really far away from his boy JB.
Also, any path talk with the Maple Leafs and like how to get out of this and the attractiveness of that job. I think you also have to bring up the factor that like, this is the biggest corporation in the NHL. So if you're taking the Toronto Maple Leafs general manager job, you do not have the autonomy that a lot of other jobs in the NHL would carry. You're answering to a board, you're answering to perhaps Shanahan, like you're answering to a lot of people, and there are a lot of directives, and this is a big corporation, not just a hockey club. And like that's it. I think the Leafs job is very attractive for a lot of reasons, because they are a huge franchise. Winning with that team would give you endless flowers for all of eternity. But at the same time, what a fucking headache, man.
Yeah. How do you feel about Haley Wickenheiser as a candidate?
I don't know enough to have an opinion on that, but like, would be cool as shit. I'd feel pretty bad for.
I'm out. I'm not putting her in front of that firing squad. Yeah. I am for Haley Wickenheiser getting a better job than that. Which, I mean, there's only 32 jobs. If you're a candidate for a GM, it's a big time beggars can't be choosers situation. But there's way too big a chance the Leafs will be an absolute mess. We're only going to talk about her bringing in horses to talk to the team, because that's like our experience. That's our only knowledge thus far.
Can I suggest somebody? A a young guy whose stocks are really, really high right now based off of his recent body of work. And I think that he would be able to do some good work.
Kyle Dubas?
Kyle Dubas.
Yes.
Kyle Dubas would do some good work in Toronto. He's done a really good job in Pittsburgh. A really great job of asset management over in Pittsburgh. Just a suggestion. Think about it.
I think that given what Dubas has done the last, say, calendar year, I mean, we'll talk about the Penguins in a minute, but yeah, I'm for, I don't know. I don't have someone in mind. And I say the out on Wickenheiser thing in jest, but also like I don't know if I would want to put a first-time GM in that position.
Yeah,
this might
probably
be
not.
like you want the job after this next person.
I think like
Kind of like
honestly, like what they did with Dubas in the first place, where he was like kind of a co-GM, and then there was kind of a succession plan in some ways. That got a little messy, but you know it. I don't know. I don't know who's fucking saving this team. I really don't.
I've never heard this term before, but apparently there's such thing as a glass cliff.
I don't know what that is.
If I misunderstand, it's when it says, someone in the chat says, when a failing organization puts a woman in a key job to take the fall for something being bad. That sounds horrible. It's terrible behavior.
I mean, I feel like
whoever's anything is on a cliff. Yeah.
Whoever's hired is not going to take the fall for this team being bad, because this team is already bad, and Brad Treliving is kind of that guy.
Oh, someone in the chat says Sonny Maeda. No. We keep Sonny. Just keep him in Florida until maybe a team loses earlier than they wanted to this postseason and says maybe our GM is really bad. I want Sonny Maeda in Edmonton.
Okay.
I think that's like Sonny Maeda, I think, is eventually going to get a blank check from somebody for what he's doing in Florida. So I don't know where the Leafs go, but
Peter Chiarelli.
I wouldn't want
awesome.
that gig.
Peter Chiarelli would be incredible.
Peter Chiarelli is, I kind of think, what is a better version of what Treliving was, which is a guy who most people with a brain, Mike, could agree was a good GM in one place, and then they got to the next place, and you have no idea what happened. Where Peter Chiarelli made one of the best moves of the last however many years when he gave Leon Draisaitl 8 years out of his entry-level deal, which is not something people were doing. And he gave him
heavily criticized deal at the time.
Heavily criticized deal, and I loved it because I loved Chiarelli and I loved Draisaitl.
And Chiarelli, before doing that, had the opportunity to trade Draisaitl for like proven NHL superstar talent, and was like, absolutely not. I'm not trading this guy. He's going to be a star. So he was right.
That's the Chiarelli came in and did some smart things right away kind of thing. But generally in Edmonton, I mean, we don't need to rehash it.
There's some chapters of him not doing so hot.
He was a disaster in Edmonton, but he wasn't in Boston. And that's why I think that's where the Treliving thing comes up. Like, you texted me, Leafs fired Treliving, and I was like, I still kind of think he's a good GM. It's just been but everything he did in Toronto was wrong.
And the end of his tenure in Calgary was a disaster. Some of it wasn't his fault, painted into a pretty difficult situation, but pretty much like his last 5 years, more. I don't have the exact year in front of me, the exact dates. His last handful of years plus, horrible.
Chat says, if they haven't decided yet which charity, how will we decide? We're not assholes. We're not grifters. Like, we'll find. I'm probably gonna have to go through. Sean, at the end of the episode, does it say how many super chats there were? Is there like a way to find out how much money there was?
Yeah, there is in the back end.
Okay, we'll do it in the back end, and don't clip that. We'll look at the back end, and
much better,
and we'll look at the numbers, and we will talk to you, and we'll find something, okay? And if not, we'll reimburse you, but we're going to donate it, okay? We love you. But that's just an idea that we came up with on the fly, so give us a minute here to finish the show and whatnot. Speaking of the Leafs and that pick that they traded to the Bruins, that pick is down to 8th overall as of now because they won again last night, which currently means the Maple Leafs have a 12.3% chance of ending up with a top 2 pick, but an 87.5% chance of giving pick 8, 9, or 10 to the Boston Bruins. Are you like starting to get a little annoyed that it might be like
10?
9?
Yeah. Am I allowed to be greedy?
Have you grown
Am I allowed
accustomed to a certain lifestyle?
Yeah. I'm upper middle class. Give me a number 6 overall pick, please. Or fucking keep it. No, I'll still... Because I think ultimately the Bruins are going to be in a spot where they're not getting like high-end... Like highest of end talent. I mean, like unless Craig Button's right and Keaton Verhoff is dropping to 6 or like around there, I think the Bruins are probably going to trade that pick.
Listen to Craig Button. # believe Craig Button.
Yeah, that's right. No, I mean, like, if the Bruins end up in the top 10 at all, even if it's number 10, that is a high value pick that they can either use or trade and get better pretty quickly.
You can get Austin Matthews for that pick, I think.
That'd be sick.
But hey, you want this
your
pick back? That would rule.
That'd be so sick.
Austin Matthews, Fraser Minton, and a 4th round pick for Brandon Carlo at 15% retained, in fairness. Speaking of picks, the Florida Panthers, who saw this coming, are on the move. They've lost 4 of 5, now have the 6th best odds at the number 1 overall pick, and they keep the pick as long as it is top 10. That would mean that the Boston Bruins get Florida's 2028 first-round pick, which might screw them, but who knows? Maybe they win the Cup next year, then another fallow year afterwards, and you're good. But Paul Maurice recently said that only one current injured Panther has a chance to play again this season. Schwind?
Cole Schwind?
Schwing. That means that we likely, and this is per Jameson Olive, we likely won't see Barkov, Marchand, Reinhart, Lundell, Mikkola, Rodriguez, Blinskis, and Jonah Gadjevich again until 2026-27. And let's not forget, the Panthers have cap space in the offseason. So this is going to be very, very interesting. They're going to win the fucking lottery, or they're going to end up with the 5th or 6th overall pick. They're going to trade it for Brady Tkachuk or a goalie. We've already decided that. And we are in for more Panther stuff. We never really talked about the Tkachuk brothers autograph signing. You see that?
Oh, yeah. Charging like $1,000 for a VIP treatment. And like, I think the funniest part of it was not the $1,000 for like an autograph. Different prices for Brady and Matthew Tkachuk.
Can't do that, boys.
Yeah, like, Brady Tkachuk, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's such a bad optically. You can't
but it was
do
in
that.
Florida.
Yeah, I don't care.
I think that's
Charge
more
the same.
of like a market control kind of thing. Like if you made them the same price, nobody in Florida is going to see Brady.
I also I think it's fucking a little gross to even charge money for like autographs and pictures.
I agree. It's Matty Healy had a big rant about that, didn't he?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. No, yeah.
He said you need to make them. He said if you're going to do that, you need to make them hand you cash.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Look them in the eye when they are giving you $20 for you to take a picture with them.
Yeah. Don't go through a middleman and then be like all chummy, knowing that you're price gouging your own fans so that you can sign an autograph or take a picture with them. That shit sucks.
I'm just writing something down quickly.
The whole like autograph scene, just I don't like using the word like gives me the ick, but the whole autograph scene is just full of the worst people you've ever seen. It's the autograph hawkers who are the biggest losers on the planet, and then the people who like charge exorbitant amounts of money to like interact with you or interact with people that like actually really, really like you. That shit sucks. It all sucks.
How am I? How about like if you could pay X amount more? And no, this isn't to offend anybody who does this. Like I was buying tickets for something recently, and it was not much more. We're going to see On Cinema at the Cinema, which is a show that we love. And there was like an add-on thing where you could meet like Greg Turkington and Tim Heidecker, take a picture with them. It wasn't that much more, but I just didn't do it because we were like, we want to meet those guys organically and have like a story. It would feel kind of weird waiting in line to meet them. I would wait in line to like meet Paul McCartney or something like that. But like, would you do that for anything, anyone?
I don't even go up to like, I was at the Super Bowl 2 years ago and Josh Allen was 5 feet away from me. People were like, go say hi. I'm like, I'm not doing that. We're both here like doing work stuff. I think I might pay to meet Barack Obama, and that's like it.
Somebody asked a question
What's the weirdest way to hold your laptop?
No,
And
it's alright.
Yeah,
I
what the
can't
fuck's going on?
read.
Oh,
There's like very, very fine print that I was trying to read. Somebody asked a question if like the money was going to charity. Not according to this flyer that I'm looking at. There is absolutely no indication that any of this money is going anywhere other than the Kachuk brothers' pockets. So
Yeah, I mean, it's probably like
was a fair
there's
question,
probably
though.
like the. I mean, like I get in some situations, like a lot of time it's like the company putting it on. So there's like a local store, collector store or something, and I get that they got to make some kind of money. So I don't, I guess like if you're gonna have like an autograph event, I don't necessarily have a problem with like it being a small fee because you also have to control, like you can't have like you'll have those like autograph hawkers who come in and be like, "Can you sign 83 things for me?" Like, yeah, I get charging to have them sign. So like, I get there being some kind of control over it, but yeah, charging. I'm not. There's no way in hell I am paying $100 to meet a man my age.
okay. Meanwhile, the Vegas Golden Knights won their first game under John Tortorella. Congratulations to them on an epic come-from-behind win against the fucking Canucks at home. I was so bummed when they
Season's
tied
back
it up.
on, boys.
I was so bummed when they tied it up. I was like, yo, lose this fucking game for me one time. But they came back. They won. It's a good win for them. John Tortorella said that he spent most of the game, this is per Hannah Kirkle, calling Nick Dowd by the wrong name. Quote, I think for half the game, and the boys let me do it, I was calling Dowd by a different name. I didn't realize I was doing this. I'm sure you'll hear about that eventually from these guys. I think the worst part about it, Pete, what's the worst part about that?
He's wearing a suit.
He's wearing a suit.
Yeah,
Be torts, man.
I know, but somebody commented and was like, "This is big. I'm not crazy. I'm a normal guy on the first day of work." Energy. Which,
Torts, if you don't know, usually wears a fleece or like a quarter zip or something like that.
yeah, we already got too much tape on this guy. We know who you are. You putting on the costume for day one of work is not fooling anybody. We do have to open up the possibility, though, that this is an organizational decision. Maybe the
That's
Vegas
what I was
Golden
thinking.
Knights want their coach to be in a suit and tie, which would kind of check out because Bill
Yeah, I'd
Foley
agree.
is a military guy.
Well,
Oh, I didn't know
famously,
that.
that's not the type of suit a knight wears. That's the wrong one. That's
See-
the wrong suit,
Seeing
Golden
John
Knight.
Tortorella show up in a coat of armor would be fucking incredible.
Yes.
Maybe he's doing some like Ocean's 11 type shit. He's dressing for the casinos.
What I love about it, I don't know if this picture will show it, but Sean, could you put that back up? I saw that his collar was kind of popping out of his jacket, and it was just big. I don't know how to wear a suit energy, and I get
Not
mad
anymore.
when
He used
people
to
on
wear
TV
suits.
are buttoning buttons wrong or whatever. I like the idea of John Tortorella always looking uncomfortable in a suit. I remember like back in the day in the 90s and stuff, or early 2000s, he would wear a suit on the bench. But I like John Tortorella, an NHL head coach, being like, kind of like when Dwight has to wear the long sleeves under Charles Minor, and he like can't do it. It's uncomfortable. He thinks it's like a straitjacket. I would love if
Yeah.
John Tortorella was so committed to his game that he's like, yeah, you know what? I never really figured out the suit thing.
I'll also leave open the room for possibility that because he came in so late in the season and he can't really fuck around with systems or strategy or anything, the way that he's telling his guys that like this is a business atmosphere, show up to fucking work, is by wearing a suit, especially in the new age NHL where players can show up to work in t-shirts and stuff like that. No dress code for players anymore. They don't have to show up in suits. John Tortorella is showing up in a suit when he doesn't necessarily have to set an example for his players.
Young Gritty says it's big Winnie the Pooh in the tux.
Yes, that's right.
You know?
Not even where I thought you were going. I thought you were going to say, like, he promised he wasn't going to change shit. So he didn't even, he just got to stay in a suit. That's what the last guy wore.
There's
true.
a weird clip from this game. Mark Stone is talking to the ref, trying to figure out some situation. And I don't know what this is, but play it, Sean.
I think I saw 5-on-5. I took a lip reading course.
See, I thought he said, "I'm coming to the cottage." But my lip reading is quite as good as yours.
So Mark Stone or Brock Besser is telling the official that they're coming to the cottage?
I guess.
No, the official was selling them.
The official's
He was
telling
saying-
them that he's coming to the cottage?
That the official is coming to the cottage because didn't he say that the official was like I thought he was reading the official's lips.
Go again? Let's do it again. We'll do this for the show.
I think I saw 5 on 5.
Yeah,
I took a lip reading course.
yeah, like the ref was
See,
saying
I
5
thought
on
he said
5.
I'm coming to the cottage.
This got nothing to do with Brock Besser. This is an
My
official
lip
and
reading
Mark
is
Stone
quite
type
as
of
good
thing.
as yours.
Mark Stone.
Well, no, he
now-
was talking to both of them. He was the third man in at the cottage.
I haven't seen
Like
season 2, so fucking watch it. I don't know what happens there. The only
You
third
never
man
know.
at the cottage I know was an unwelcome guest, just trying to get his
True.
phone charger.
He really shoehorned that one in. This was like, this guy's been waiting for a cottage joke opportunity. He was like, I'm taking my chance here. I see an opening.
This is it. I don't think this team is making the playoffs.
Yeah, time's running out.
Speaking of, I believe the Rangers also eliminated from the playoffs. Were they eliminated last night?
They were eliminated
been.
a couple nights ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
they've been
congratulations to
eliminated
them. I got the Rangers jersey behind me.
By
Yes?
the way, Chad is throwing out some accusations that my glasses are for looks.
Performative.
Go ahead and check
Well,
that baby
famously,
out. Try those on for size.
Glasses are for
That's true for
looks.
looking.
Nah, man. This is
My eyesight, proper trash.
wow.
Proper trash.
That's crazy, mate.
I cannot read a single word on the screen right now.
Man. Well,
Not
read
that I
my
could have
lips.
my own screen.
Read my lips, dummy. The Penguins put belt to ass of the Islanders last night. Penguins keep winning big games against Eastern Conference playoff contenders.
Penguins are pretty good, man.
Penguins are good. They beat the Sens on Thursday.
Yeah.
Famously, Linus Ullmark didn't like the shootout, which quick time out there.
Linus Ullmark discourse is really bumming me out.
I
man.
know we're just choosing to skip it. I think kind of. Yeah. People don't be assholes to Linus Ullmark.
Yeah, like I don't necessarily disagree with like the
sentiment of like I want him to play.
He's one of their highest paid players. He's one of their most important players. You're in the middle of a playoff chase. I get it. You want him to play. O-Dog was pretty aggressive in the way that he approached that discussion yesterday. And again, I don't disagree with the sentiment and the things that he's saying. I wish he was just like a little bit kinder.
Yeah, I mean, no, I thought he was a fucking asshole in it. I thought that he was making it as though
I typically like O-Dog's abrasive personality or aggressive aggression when it comes to his analysis. I felt like maybe there was some room there to be a little nicer.
Sure, I
but-
mean, but we're all human. I'm sure that we've had moments where we've been talking about players or whatever, and you think like, oh, I was kind of an asshole about that.
Yeah.
Elias Pettersson, most times we've talked about them, but I just thought that he was a little dismissive of like, yeah, you need your time away, and the team put up with that kind of thing. And I was like, well, okay, I understand the frustration too. What upsets me is I wish that Linus Ullmark. It's a weird thing to say about somebody. I wish Linus Ullmark made less money, or I wish a few players on the Senators made more money than him. I did not know that I think only Brady Tkachuk, or maybe only Tim Stützle, I think only one player on the Senators makes more than Linus Ullmark. How many teams have a guy making $8.25 million as their second highest paid player? Because as I was watching O-Dog's thing, I'm like, yeah, I get where you're coming from. Not exactly the way I'd say it, but, live and let live kind of. And I was like, no, he's not. He was. Why are you calling him their most important player? And then I looked it up, and I was like, fuck, he's like their most important player.
Well, I mean, he's also their most important player in the sense that this is a pretty good hockey team that has been largely undone for a big portion of the season by bad goaltending. And a lot of that bad goaltending has come from Linus Ullmark. But when Linus Ullmark turned it around, this team also turned around.
Yes. Now, back to the Penguins. They beat the Sens Thursday, pounded the Islanders, I believe 8-3 on Monday, and their playoff odds are now up to 83.3%. That is outstanding, given that they were expected really to be the only team that was a guaranteed seller this season. They still kind of did sell. I wonder if they, not that I'm putting them on win around watch. I think that they're on house money watch. I kind of wish they still had Brett Kulak. Just one, I wish they didn't really sell at the deadline. Just see how far this.
They didn't sell. I don't think they sell. I think they just they prioritized asset management.
And they got
Sam Girard.
Yeah, they got Sam Girard back. So it was
Right.
like body in, body out. Yeah, okay, I'll allow it. I've found out about this Penguins Jesus account. I asked you about them yesterday. Have you seen this account?
I have, yeah.
Yes, Penguins Jesus. That basically, Sean, have you seen Penguins Jesus? It's just like oops all shit posting. I don't know if you said something there, but you're muted, Sean. Are you
My
muted?
bad.
Okay.
I did say yes. I have. I've seen it from you. And yes, and then I laughed at you saying it's oops all shit posting.
That's one of my favorite things is when DJ like absolutely hammers his current obsession and then asks you if you've heard about it. Remember when he did that
like,
with
obviously.
Slam Frank? Just every day was sending Slam Frank reels, and then on the show would be like, "Hey, Sean, have you heard of this Slam Frank?"
It's because we're doing a fucking show, you idiot.
This
know,
is
I'm just
significantly
fucking
less.
with you.
This is significantly less offensive and annoying.
No, this is less.
No,
this is less
the
offensive than
Slam
Slam Frank.
And this like
So,
it
low
appeals
bar.
to my interest. I'm very in on Penguins Jesus as well.
Okay, so Penguins Jesus does just like shit posts. They also do 1 million posts a day, like 5,000 posts. Also some fun like Penguins are good posts. I don't really need those. But what I do need are these ones like, do you have the Erik Karlsson one, Sean? So they threw this one up that said Erik Karlsson is really leaned in to take a I can't see. I'm like Pete now. What does it say?
DJ's on
taking his
optometrist
team
watch.
dad duties. Erik Karlsson has really been taking his team dad duties seriously since Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin have left the lineup. Incredible leadership by the veteran.
And then the so it says it's a shirt that says I'm not the stepdad, I'm the dad that stepped up. And I believe the former mayor of Pittsburgh quote tweeted it with "he has earned the A," and people fall for it. And when people fall for it, someone will be like, "This is a shit post. I don't think this is real," and they'll always come back with like the Walter White "you got me." It's always so obvious that they're shit posting. This is the best example of it though. Last night I saw this. Let me see. It's a quote about Anthony Mantha that is absolutely fake. Penguins Jesus, Stu Skinner, again, this is fake, on Anthony Mantha's performance tonight. Quote, honestly, I've been to 2 straight Stanley Cup finals, and if we had a player half as good as Anthony Mantha on those teams, I'd be wearing 2 rings right now. End quote. Wow. And I saw a lot of Oilers fans getting mad at Stuart Skinner off of this fake quote, which is stunning. Like, if you're... how many Stuart Skinner quotes do any of us know? It's just all like, "Hi, Gene, thanks for the interview. I'd like to make Team Canada." Everyone got mad at him for saying that. That's like the most harmless person in the world. And people thought that he was actually going out there and saying Anthony Mantha is better than Connor McDavid. There's an update to it this morning that is, let's see, Stu Skinner on his viral Penguins quote. That wasn't a shot at McDavid or Lyon. Those guys are 2 of the best to ever play. Just saying Anthony Mantha scores when it counts, doesn't blame his goalies, and doesn't stat pad against the little sisters of the poor. Wow.
It's just straight up the concept of making up a fake quote and then doing a follow-up the next day saying this player commenting on their viral quote is so good.
So good. I also, by the way, I clearly just learned about this account. If they're doing any like AI best shit or whatever, if they're doing like AI slop, I didn't know about it.
No. Guess what? This is not AI slop. This is AI for good, in my opinion.
If it's tricking people, if it's tricking the people that are getting tricked by it, yes.
And at most, this is generative AI, which is
What is even the
supplemental.
Where would the AI be?
Like I think that you could do like the AI stuff on the shirts that he's doing, but that's just like small generative AI. And like I'm not saying, I don't think we've ever said all AI is bad, and I don't think that anybody should have the opinion that all AI is bad. When it's replacing things in totality, I think is when AI becomes fucked. That's when it's using to replace rather than enhance or supplement is when I have problems with AI.
A new Kyle Connor KFC ad is at the timeline. Kyle Connor is a forward for the Winnipeg Jets who looks like a bird, which makes the fact that he does work with KFC very, very fun. Sean, do you have the latest advertisement?
Kyle Connor. Nice suit. It's got finger-licking good written all over it.
That better have been the right F word.
What do you mean?
Better have been fucking.
Honestly, like that's a banger of a commercial.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. KFC advertising fucking rocks.
I'm so interested in KFC's relationship with Kyle Connor. They fucking love that guy. They absolutely cut that guy fat checks, apparently.
I mean, it's...
Remember when they just transformed one of their entire restaurants to like replace Kyle Connor?
What?
Remember?
They turned it into
put
a
Kyle Connor
yes.
on all of their imagery on one of their stores. Like they changed the signage and everything.
Yeah.
Crazy. I don't know why or how Kyle Connor came into this KFC bag, but good for him.
Shout out Kyle Connor's parents naming him Kyle.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Led to a lot of endorsement opportunities.
Yeah. And
also for making him look like a bird.
Making him look like a bird was a very big thing. I wish
do you know what his middle name is?
What is it?
David.
That's an okay one. I wish that he did that look more often. He doesn't have to wear like I liked like I think he had snakeskin boots going on. He had the Colonel suit. I think that there should be a thing where he does that for like a week if they are launching a new item, because the Penguins this season have lost a lot of games, and watching that in post-game press conferences would be a lot of fun. Big time wish I weren't wearing this fucking Colonel suit. I'm sorry, Jets.
Yes. Yeah. While we're on commercial chat, Sean, have you seen the Marcelo Meyer Car Shield commercial?
I have not.
Oh, boy. I'm very excited for both of you to see this because it is quite possibly the worst acting job in the history of athletes doing commercials. And that's saying something. Hit it, brother.
I bet your car's out of warranty and you pay full price for repairs. You bum!
I've got Car Shield.
What?
Customers like me can save thousands on car repairs.
Look at his eyes.
Maybe
Look
you
where he's
didn't
looking.
know Car Shield's been protecting drivers for over 20 years.
Talk about a gangster lean.
Auto protection company.
Big time gangster lean here.
Maybe you didn't
Not
know
even
that
close
I
to
know
looking at this guy.
Oh, how do you know that?
Baseball players hear everything. Enjoy the rest of the game and call Car Shield. You bum!
It's quite possibly the
Eyes
worst.
up here, Marcelo. Eyes are up here.
Eyes down here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's like looking above, and like
My man is looking
the first
at
time you have to do
God.
an eyes up here when you go diagonally down.
It is both horrible line reading and the most obvious line reading of all time. Shout out to my guy. He's got a future in acting.
Really good. I like that. Shall we get to our conversation? Actually, Sean, do you have the Young Gritty tweet?
Not
Oh,
yet.
okay. Young Gritty has screen grabbed Pete looking at his computer all weird, and it's amazing. But not as amazing as our conversation with Alex Lyon. Alex Lyon, the great goaltender for the Buffalo Sabres, the Yale-educated goaltender for the Buffalo Sabres, joined our show yesterday, and it was an amazing conversation. We're going to play you a show cut right now that's going to run about 22 minutes, but after the show, if you want to go on either audio or YouTube, we will have the full conversation that's, I want to say something like 50 minutes. It's a great time. Lion rules. Here it goes. Let's talk to one of the best goaltenders on the planet from the Buffalo Sabres, Alex Lyon. Hello. Why are you laughing?
I mean, I don't think I'll ever put myself there. I'm just trying to keep a job in the league, to be honest with you. But yeah, things have been good lately, so can't complain.
Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. Speaking of numbers, we've learned that someone has been viewing our stuff, and not to make it about us, but you said that you're like getting into the What Chaos experience this season, and your exact words were, I believe, like, I wasn't sure. What does that mean?
Well, I'm a big sports talk guy. Like, so I love religious Bill Simmons listener. Like Colin Cowherd, Mike Florio. I don't know if you guys follow any football stuff, but
Oh, yeah.
I love Pro Football Talk. I love those guys. I've listened to them for like 10 years. And just like recently, I've been able to get into hockey because my brain isn't mentally strong enough to handle hockey talk along with my job, if that makes sense. But the last couple of years, I've been getting dabbling more in the hockey, and yeah, I've been loving All Chaos ever since. I think Tomer was on it earlier this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Not us.
Or
That might have been the
Kesselring was on earlier this year.
Yep, Kesselring. Who else? Who you would?
You know what it was? I think Tomer has a What Chaos hat that he wears every
yes.
while.
He does.
You guys might have sent him some stuff or something like that.
It's the only time. It's the only time he doesn't. I was going to make a MAGA hat joke. I'm not going to do it. We can move on. But yeah, he has a What Chaos hat, which is the a hat that he wears, and everyone says, "Okay, we like this. No one's mad."
So the free advertising is working for you guys. Whatever you're doing, you're getting the word out there, and yeah, it turned me on. But I love it. I think that I'm sure, as you guys have thought about this a million times, but there's a big hole in the hockey media market for just good banter, kind of hitting on a bunch of different topics. Like I said, I'm a Bill Simmons guy, and so I love listening to him talk about NBA, NFL, and I feel like the NHL is starting to kind of come around to that a little bit, and I'm loving it. So.
I absolutely get where you're coming from, where you're like, I mean, if I was an athlete, I certainly wouldn't listen to most sports media, but I definitely wouldn't listen to sports media from the sport that I covered, because the takes would drive me insane. I can only imagine if you've listened to stuff and you've disagreed with it, you've been like, you idiots, you morons. But that's what sports media is all about.
Right. Like that. Once you can get past it, it took me a long time to be able to separate taking things personal, and once I just could emotionally get past that, I mean, I think everybody's like that with their own personal life, right? You just learn to not care about certain things, and honestly, whenever there's a segment about whatever X team I'm happening to play for that year, I just 30 seconds until I get ahead of it, but yeah, I love it. Now I kind of know what's going on around the league a little bit more. Like I said, I listened to your Vegas Golden Knights synopsis earlier today, and I enjoyed that. And so it's good to just kind of have a feel for what's going on around the league.
You've done a lot of skipping on this show this year,
Right.
because we've talked about the Sabres basically every day for the last 3 months. But it's all been good because it's been unbelievable out there.
Yeah, it's been great, and I honestly do skip, but I'm also kind of in the sports media game for not to just hammer your podcast name too much, but I'm in it for the chaos. I'm not in it. I'm not listening to Colin Cowherd to give a fluff take in whatever. I want to hear some. I'm sure you guys, right? When you listen to things, you want to hear things that are a little bit more spicy. So you definitely know Buffalo Sabres content for me. Try to stay away from that as much as I can. But yeah, it feels like it's been a crazy season in the NHL. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but it just feels like there's kind of been a lot going on.
With all due respect, the Buffalo Sabres are about to, and earmuffs, tap dance their way to a Stanley Cup. So yes, it's been a crazy year in the NHL because it's been, I remember months ago, Alex, on this show, our producer, Sean, who loves you guys, being like, so it's going to be 15 years. It's going to be 15 years, and there's nothing I can do about that, and that just hurts so much, but I guess this is my life. And fast forward to now, we have you on, and I need to know, how much beer do you guys drink?
Well, honestly, more now that Rasmus put that out into the atmosphere. Honestly, I think we try to have a few more now because of him. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, even just being around the league and in the league this is my 10th year. It's crazy to think that the Sabres are gonna have a chance to play in the playoffs, and obviously we really don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves here. We still got 9 games to go, so I'm going to be pretty careful with what I say. But it's just like it's been such a long time, and it's almost like you just take it for granted that the position that certain teams are in, like in the league, and then when they it's like the same thing like Ottawa. I think about them a little bit last year. Like they finally cracked it last year and got in, and it's cool to see. I like when there's like teams that change kind of their status in the league, and I think that's pretty cool. I think it's good for the game.
It's been a lot of that in the Eastern Conference this year. The whole landscape seems to have shifted quite a bit. We know beer is kind of the savior of the Sabres this year. Have you guys considered getting into anything harder? I'm experimenting with gateway drugs recently.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I did listen to the podcast earlier, and maybe if we could, I don't know, maybe if we could get some sort of sponsorships, I think that the Sabres would be welcome and open to anything. That's as far as I'll go on the gateway drug, rabbit hole.
Further than I thought you would go.
A businessman looking to bring in dollars. You got to respect it.
Was there any part of you that thought you could, that A, this could have not all happened, and B, that you could have not been there for it? Because we'll forget the start of the season and everything, but like the team was struggling and you were playing well. And as a fan of a team that occasionally is on the hunt for goaltenders, your name was a name that was thrown around of like, if a team wants a goalie, good contract, good player, like maybe they're in on Alex Lyon. Around when the team started to get good and maybe around the time of the GM change, were you wondering or were you talking to your agent about like, hey, like, am I even going to be here?
Yeah, it's definitely it's always a factor. Even like when you're in the American League, which I spent the bulk of my career in the American League. You just like kind of never know. And it's really just goes with like the ebbs and flows of the season, because there could be 4 NHL goalies that get sent down during training camp where you're like, holy, like, I can't believe those guys all cleared. And then, it's like really just a matter of need. That's kind of how I see it and if like a team is in dire need, then you just never really know what's going to happen, as evidenced by some of the moves that we've seen this year. But it's always kind of in the back of your mind. Fortunately for me, my fiance and I don't spend the seasons together. She lives at home, in close to New York City, and so it's not as much of a concern for me as it is maybe with like guys with kids and families and stuff. But yeah, definitely always thinking about that. I remember, I don't know why this just popped in my head, but I remember one time, like my 3rd year, it was one of my first call-ups over the trade deadline, and I went to sleep, and then I had like 7 spam calls when I woke up from my nap, and I was like, oh man, this is it. Like, I can't believe I'm getting traded right now. I can't believe like this is what it feels like. And then you find out that it's like, oh, nobody cares about Alex Lyon, so you just move on. But it was like a good test.
Just your car's extended warranty, bro.
Yeah, exactly. They're looking to get some insurance money off me, but yeah, it's always a factor, and it's just kind of part of it. You got to kind of bake it in with the experience.
How does this team compare to other teams you've been on, just in terms of like vibes and energy? Because I mean, I'm going to ask you about the Sword in a couple of minutes, but I feel like every clip I see of you guys or whatever, like it's probably tough to not really be up when you're winning so much.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it surprised me. Like, you could kind of feel the momentum shifting, and when you start to string a few wins together, to me, really like winning is the key to everything. And you guys know that, but like, aside from just like the team vibe and everything, it's just like winning really is what makes everything happen in a locker room, in terms of like how you feel and how the guys are vibing with each other. So we went on like a crazy run there, and we're still playing really good hockey, and the guys have been playing great. But like when we were rattling off, I think we had a 10-gamer, from the early December to like mid-January. You could kind of start to feel the vibe start to shift a little bit. But what's kind of interesting about our team is we still have like an incredibly young team. I think our second youngest team in the NHL, behind like maybe Montreal. I don't know, after the trade deadline, we did add some age, but it's fun it's fun. I get excited for the guys that have been here this whole time, and they're starting, like, you guys know what I'm saying, like Tage and Dolls, and like these guys have been putting so much sweat equity into the Buffalo Sabres, and so really I'm thrilled for them, and I'm happy that they can have the team success along with the individual success that they've had for quite a while now. So, and it's not just those guys. I mean, go down the line, like Samuelson, Luukkonen, Upi, obviously my goalie partner there. So I'm just really thrilled for those guys, and for me, it's my fifth team, so it's like kind of you kind of have a bunch of different experiences, so you don't maybe necessarily get up and down quite so much, but it's been fun to like vicariously live through them for sure, and hopefully we can just keep grinding and keep the wave rolling.
Are you why they got rid of the sword?
I have heard that theory before. I actually would love to take credit for why that. I don't think that's in factuality why they got rid of the sword, but I would love to think that the hazard of me, unsheathing the sword and then swiftly and majestically, shooting it through the air is the actual reason that they did get rid of the sword. So if you guys want to perpetuate that rumor, I would really love that.
I mean, you looked amazing doing it. Like, it's not like you were like, oh, here goes that. It was very, like, if there was a bad guy in there, I wouldn't have wanted to be a bad guy in there, is what I'm saying, because you look like you could have handled some business. Killed them.
I couldn't agree with you more. And the other huge thing for me was, it was actually, I think, maybe like our third or fourth game of the season. And so I still had some, reasonable muscle definition on my body, because obviously you work so hard in the summer, and then once the season starts, the shape of your body just gradually rolls downhill until the end of the season. And so, like, I still had actually pretty good bicep definition. And so I'm pretty fired up that everybody thinks that, I'm not just a complete bag of milk, because that's in reality what I actually am. So yeah, pretty good look for me.
How much does UPL like pronouncing his own name?
It sounds amazing when he says it. I'm sure you guys have seen the clips. It sounds unreal. But yeah, he's just a sturdy, great guy. Finn, he's pretty quiet and kind of does his job and moves on. So he's been a great goalie partner for me.
Yeah, like half of our show is playing clips of Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen saying Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
Yeah,
he swings it when he says it.
I imagine him like Groot, where like all he says is his own name.
He's a Pokemon.
Yes, yeah. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, like I actually, now that you say that, when I have heard that before, it kind of seems like that he like leans into it maybe a little too much. Like he's trying to like, I don't know how you just said it, but like he swings it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to ask him about that tomorrow and confront him about that.
You're going to make him quantize it a little bit. Just say Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. No, he's like Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. He just wants to swing a little bit. I'll tell you what, I guarantee that guy has his outgoing message on his phone is the number you have reached is unavailable. Name cannot come to the phone. You know how like you can either one like, hey, you've reached Ukko, can't get, like, he does the just say your own name.
Yeah.
And the number you've reached is unavailable. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. We'll call you back after this. That guy lives for shit like that, I bet.
Yeah. Honestly, to be honest, he definitely doesn't. But just for the sake of the podcast, I'll roll with it. But
we're running long. We'll cut that down.
I'll send him a text after this. I'll give him a call and just say, hey, don't answer. We're just going to see what you're working with your voicemail, and then we'll adjust it. But I'm definitely going to see if he likes to lean into that or not, and maybe call him out a little bit for that tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, we had Wyatt Johnston on, and we were just harassing him about his teammate Hintz, because that man has really fucked around with people over the years with saying his name is Ropa, Rope, Rupe, Rope. Brad Marchand did the same thing. He went Marchand for a little while, then he went Marchand, and we're like, We
Oh,
want to
no
put
way.
respect on people's names.
Just pick one.
Stop fucking with us.
Yeah.
Hints, I don't know that guy, so I don't know what he's doing. All respect to him. Marshawn does it to fuck with people. I am
Definitely.
sure, because that is just his thing. You wrote your senior thesis at Yale on global nuclear war. That fascinates me for a lot of reasons. Are you still like a nuke head?
The dummy major at Yale is political science. So it
Classic
sounds
Yale dummy major.
Dummy major is crazy.
Yeah, like the athlete major is political science. So I was kind of strong-armed into doing that because I wasn't like smart enough. And I'm not even trying to be humble. I'm not even trying to humble brag here because I'm very proud of the fact that I went to Yale, and it makes me feel extremely intelligent on a daily basis. But I would not have survived in any other of the classes. No cap. That's what the kids say these days. No cap. Because everybody there is so smart. Seriously, everybody there is way, way smarter than me. And it made my life way better when I just accepted that. You know, because like your first like year or two out of college and into pro, you kind of like hold on to that, like, yeah, I'm a Yale guy. You know what I mean? You guys know what I'm talking about. Like, there's people who kind of like hold on to that for a long time. Yeah. But I got to the point where I'm like, why am I leaning into this? I'm not that guy. I'm just an idiot hockey player trying to make money doing this. And ever since then, my life's been way better. So but it allows me to play both sides of the coin a little bit. You know, I can play the smart card and then also play the dummy card. So I like to be able to hold both in my pocket.
I can't decide what's more interesting. A professional athlete who went to Yale and like studied and learned about nuclear weapons, or a professional athlete who went to Yale and is convinced that he's stupid. Because I get, and I know that you said like you're not just saying it to be humble, but you went to Yale and didn't die, so you're at least kind of smart.
Well, I always say this. And I'm an absolute expert at playing the game, you know, and like I can play the life game with the best of them, and I can lie to a teacher with the best of them and bullshit a teacher with the best of them. That's my superpower, and really lie with no shame, lies that aren't even believable or good. I can just say, hey, like, sorry, I remember one time in English class in high school, AP English, I was like, hey, like, I actually have an emergency at the house. My parents left the burner on, and I'm going to have to go turn it off. So I'll be able to turn in my paper tomorrow, but not today. Like, I actually did that, and I actually thought that she believed it at the time. And so that's kind of what I'm good at. I'm not good at, like, studying or regurgitating information. Or my sister was actually like that. My sister was an amazing student, but I'm way better at playing the game than she is, and so that's what I really pride myself on.
Well, they don't call you Alex Truthin.
Wow,
So,
that's good.
there you go.
I haven't heard that. It's good.
I was watching a clip of you and you said, I'd be lying if, and I was like, that interviewer should be like, well, you'd always be lying. Unless,
right.
of course, you already get married and take the other person's name. Have you ever played Malarkey?
Never heard of it.
There's
Like
a game
Catan?
called Malarkey. I played it for the first time over the weekend. It made me want to fucking die, but I think that you would excel at it. It is a question is asked, and then cards are passed out to all the participants. One of the cards has the correct answer, and then the rest of them say bluff. So, for example, like the question is, what's the difference between robbery and burglary? And then you pass out a bunch of cards, and everyone goes around and they say, oh, the difference between it is whatever, when we all know the actual answer is contact. There needs to be physical contact made for it to be a robbery. But everybody else lies, and you see, and you all vote on who you think is telling the truth. I played it over the weekend, and I kept getting the correct answer card, and none of my friends voted for me, and I came in dead fucking last, even though I was telling them the truth the whole time. It's because people like you, who could be like, I know what these people want to hear right now. I'm going to say something that's going to be pleasing enough, and then this is how I win. That's why you're in the NHL, and why I don't know, hoarding your jerseys.
That's 100% true. I honestly don't even think that I'm that good at goalie. I think that I'm just so good at playing the game that I've been able to BS my way into the NHL for like 10 years. And honestly, I might try and do like a class at Yale, like a free class, and say, hey, if you guys want to BS your way into being a pro athlete, it's actually way easier than you think. That's a pretty good idea.
I had a friend in high school who got amazing scores on all of his standardized tests, on his SATs. And I remember he said, he was like, oh, you know what the thing is? I don't even know the answers to these questions. I just like read the question and I know like what they want to hear, what they're looking for. And I'm like, wow. Then you know the fucking answer. Like what you're saying is you're like, I can't play goalie well. I just do what I think people want to see a goalie do, which is to stop the fucking puck, and you do it better than so many people. Like you're good at it.
Yeah, I'm not good at goalie. I just outthink the puck and the other players on the ice.
Like they're actually like I am pretty good at goalie. I'll say that, but there is some truth to like preying on human nature, where it's like if a team has like 5 2-on-1s in one period. And they, you know what I mean? You've seen this scenario before where they like pass into the defenseman's shin pads like 3 times in a row and try to make the pass. And then you're like, they get another 2-on-1. And it's like, if this guy passes the puck one more time and he doesn't get a shot on net, he is going to get absolutely shredded by his coach. You know, like that's actually such an important part of playing goalie, whereas you kind of have to play on the human nature of it a little bit. And I think that the older you get and the more experience you get, the more you like start to think about things like that. And it actually does make you quite a bit better at goalie, but like just like reading trends and like kind of preying on human nature is a pretty important part of it.
Well, you guys have been an absolute blast to watch. As Pete said, if you have to skip Sabres content on our show, it's just oops all ad reads because we can't stop watching and talking about you guys. It's been a blast to watch. You're having such a great season. Continued success, man. Really.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you guys. Thanks for having me, and look forward to tuning in a bit more here.
Thank you to Alex Lyon. There's going to be a full cut on audio and on YouTube where you can see the whole conversation. There's a lot more on there. What other stuff do we get into there? There's the reaction to the Colton Parayko stuff, which was interesting, being there for Florida's transition, playing on a team with 3 goalies, a lot of stuff about Lindy Ruff, Buffalo. You're going to want the full conversation because, as you saw there, that guy's amazing, and he fits in perfectly with us.
Yeah, honestly, when you said that the show cut was like, what, 20-something minutes, I was like, damn, you like cut that thing in half. That's crazy. So there's a lot more stuff, and it's all very, very good.
Yes, he is amazing, as are you wonderful people, because we have a lot of super chats. We're going to do a chunk of them right now. Honestly, there are so many super chats. It's a great problem to have. I don't even know if we'll get through all of them on today's show, but we're going to do a bunch of them right now, Sean, if we could knock them out. From Ashley, or from Fatima, I apologize. It's okay, Pete, I love Harry Potter, but I hate J.K. Rowling too. I think a lot of people are in that box. Lila says, I'll support that. Don't know what they were supporting, but as long as it was a good thing, we support you. Jackson says, Zach Metz a call-up in Trans Day of Visibility. Plenty to support here. Also, Porter Martone making his debut. Yeah.
That's right.
Jackson Gavin, Evgeny Mialkin says, passed my PhD yesterday, and I'm sure the Penguins scored 8 goals to honor that. Happy Trans Day of Visibility. Good for you, Mialkin. Nice one. Eric Ripperson says, supporting the cause just to spite Pete. Go Bruins. There you go. Any bit helps. Jimmy says, Sharky would fight JK on site. No cap, to quote Alex Lyon. Gabby Nicole says, happy Trans Day of Visibility. Love you guys for supporting that community. Have to hop off, but hoping the Oilers can finally get 4 in a row tonight. She's funny. Stephanie says, happy Trans Day of Visibility.
That's
Ilya's Chair Drag says, oh, wow, that's a huge one. Thank you, Stephanie. Ilya's Chair Drag says, happy Trans Day of Visibility from a non-binary bud. Me. Thank you, Ilya. Vic says, may I suggest donations possibly to Trans Lifeline? It's a hotline and micro grant organization that supports the trans community in both the U.S. and Canada. We were researching some organizations during the Lion conversation. Trans Lifeline, I think, is the leader in the clubhouse. Jose on the Air says, in honor of Trans Day of Visibility and the new wrestling/combat Discord Don't know what that means. Shout out to Giselle Shaw, trans wrestler and current Maple Leaf Pro Women's Champion, who had a great match last weekend versus Diana Perazzo.
I can explain the Discord thing. Our Discord has like a number of different channels within it, a lot for like different sports. So now there's a wrestling in one. So.
I thought it was just a regular conversation and then pro-Armenian.
Yes. I'll say like our Discord, whether you like hockey or whether you like literally anything else on the planet, there's something in the Discord for you because there are so many channels. It's crazy. I don't know how anybody keeps up with it, but it is a banging Discord.
Great stuff.
Jesus, there are so many. I haven't looked at this in a long time. I just want to know what the name pun for the combat sports one is, because there's always a good name pun related to that the channel's named after.
Yes. I don't know what it is. Good question.
Well, something else we can do here. This is from Matthew Beauvais, the sports director at WKBW, which I assume is a Buffalo thing, right, Sean?
Yeah, I believe it's Matthew. Yeah, I actually don't know. I thought it was Matthew Bove, but it might be Bove.
Well, he's got an accent over the E.
Yeah, you are right.
Okay. Sorry, Sean. Matthew posted 3 hours ago. The other day, there were a handful of people in the Sabres locker room. Zach Benson was one of the last guys off the ice. When he got into the room, he turned on some music. It was not what I was expecting. As it turns out, he has an entire playlist of, quote, beautiful songs.
I feel like Zach Benson is the last guy on the planet that I would expect to have a playlist, period, and a playlist called Beautiful Songs.
Well, devotees of this show know that we find a playlist. We found Linus Olmark's playlist called Rawr and surprised him with it and ran through it. It was a great conversation that we had there. Now we have, I lost it on my browser, we have found the Beautiful Songs playlist from Zach Benson, posted by Matthew Beauvais. Yeah, Matthew Beauvais put it up there. It includes Beautiful Things by Benson Boone. Have you seen any of these?
I did. I took a quick glance at it earlier.
What the Christ? Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. Viva La Vida. Till the Last One Dies. I don't know that one. Superman by Morgan Wallen. Uh-oh, Sean.
Am I supposed to be surprised that a carny from Bumfuck Canada likes Morgan Wallen?
You call him a carny?
He is a carny.
He's a carny.
He's the son of a carny.
His family.
Oh, really? Like
carnival.
actually,
Yeah.
like carnies in the family?
Not derogatory. I love Zach Benson. Mm-hmm. Definitely not derogatory, but it is a great. It fits his personality very well, I would say.
There are some choices on this. Unsteady by Ex-Ambassadors. When's the last time anyone heard that one? You know that one? No. Hold on, because I'm a little unsteady. Is how that one goes. There's Ed Sheeran on there. There's some Rascal Flatts.
I'll tell you what, like this is a wide-ranging playlist that goes back. Like this is a lot of our age kind of selections. So shout out to Zach Benson, a man with layers.
Always remember us this way from the Star is Born soundtrack.
Nice.
Well, a lot of beautiful songs on here.
You know, this came off the back of him, Tage Thompson, and Josh Doan forming a committee that decided their walkout song.
Yeah.
In which they fully rehearsed it. They turned off the lights and pulled out the speakers in the locker room in order to decide what was best. And I can't even remember the name of the song that they landed on.
Money for Nothing, Dire Straits.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yes.
Banger.
Me and DJ were talking about this yesterday in studio too. Like we both came to the agreement, really love the idea that the Sabres are having this incredible run of success and changing things up right before the playoffs, because that says they're not fucking scared by superstitions or tradition or anything like that.
They would touch the trophy if they won. If they won the Eastern Conference, they are like putting hands all over.
I think they would destroy the trophy. They love beer. They're crazy.
No, I mean, no. Are you talking about the cup? Because I think we're talking about the Eastern Conference trophy.
Yeah, I think they would destroy any trophy that they put their hands on. No, I'm saying
if they won the Eastern Conference, they would go up to that thing and just.
That's what I'm saying. I think they would destroy it.
They put Prince to it.
But I was saying this earlier in the season, like. Yeah, when I was saying that they're just gonna win the cup and nothing. This team has been anointed. What is going to happen has been determined already. Nothing that we say or they say or do is going to have any effect on any of this. The plan is already in motion.
Okay, Sean, hit me with the slate, my friend. How many games? 10? Ooh,
Yep.
yes. Yes.
Gamer.
No.
Steve Harvey voice. Yeah, right? 10. I'm getting 10. 5 and 5.
That's 10. Sorry, my glasses stink.
It's all right.
I was like, what's going on? You get me every time that like I throw up a graphic and there's one of you questions something, I'm like, I fucked up. Something I did like the wrong day, and there's actually 17 games tonight.
Sean, I don't know if you did this on purpose, but Seattle versus Oil?
Oh, love that.
Honestly, I do
So
like that one.
I didn't really do that on purpose, but for some reason I like when I typed this out, I was like, it's kind of like it has like the same vibe as like an oil shark bowl, like, and then I was just like sea and oil. I was thinking about
Sea oil.
I swear to God, this is not joking at all. I was thinking about like oil rigs and shit, like a deep sea oil
So was
rigging,
I.
and I was like, yeah, oil makes sense. So that was not necessarily on purpose, but I do remember thinking about all of that while I did type that out.
Spoken like an oil man. You should always be thinking about rigs and drilling and all of these things.
Oil.
I mean, I guess
Yeah.
maybe I should go back to doing Philly as PHL. That mistake was also entirely unintentional, but if I do it, I guess I should just commit to it.
PHL was cool. You got the Dallas Stars, the Boston Bruins, 7 p.m. Eastern. That is, of course, a Riley Smith Bowl. The New York Islanders at Buffalo Sabres. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern. Islanders should want to win that game, but it's going to be tough to do. Buffalo Sabres.
They just lost. They got, I don't know if embarrassed is the right word.
Second night of a back-to-back, got trounced
Second
last
game of
night. Now they got to
back-to-back.
play the Sabres.
They need this one. Their playoff hopes took a massive hit yesterday.
Yeah.
According to
Yeah.
our percentage friends at Money Puck, fell 16.1% yesterday with that loss to the Penguins, down to 55.6. Still
Damn.
more likely
Yikes,
than
yikes,
not,
yikes,
if we're
yikes. Yeah.
doing Patriots speak, that they may make the playoffs.
Yes. You got the Canadians at the Lightning, 7 p.m. Eastern. That's a Mikhail Sergachev Bowl. Also a
Martin
John.
St. Louis revenge game.
Oh, yep. Of course, it's a revenge
First
game.
time.
That wound is still fresh. Senators at Panthers at 7 p.m. Eastern. Congratulations to the Ottawa Senators on winning that one. Devils at Rangers, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Hammer
Red
Jack
Wings,
Hughes anytime goal playing at Madison Square Garden happens every fucking time. Do it.
Red Wings at Penguins, 7 p.m. Second night of a back-to-back for the Penguins, but they just win these games. Flyers
Detroit
at
just
Capitals.
loses these games,
Yep.
man. That's all they do.
Flyers at Capitals, 7 p.m. Bonkers structure so far, by the way. We are through 7 games, and all of them have been at 7 p.m. Eastern. Then you got the Hurricanes at CBJ on ESPN Plus at 7:30. The Jets at the Blackhawks at 8. And then at 9, Julianne Moore, we got a 9 p.m. tuck
This structure
between
sucks.
the Kraken and the Oilers. This is a good slate. This is a
Can
very
I-
good
Bad
slate.
structure.
This is a
Can
bad
I
structure, so
do
it still gets
something
an A-.
kind of in defense of the slate? It doesn't really make any sense, but I'm going to say it anyways. This has, to me, like last day of Premier League vibes, where like every single team playing at 7 p.m. basically is fighting for their life. Like almost every, except for the Rangers and the Capitals, I guess. Like
The
every
Devils.
single Eastern Conference team that's in, the Devils, fair. The Devils Rangers game doesn't matter, but that's whatever. But like every other game is like massively important. There's gonna be, I forget, I saw someone tweet about it. I don't remember the exact breakdown, but it's like a massive, like the Eastern Conference is gonna have massive swings today based on all of these games.
Okay, Pete
The
had
playoff
said
race.
to
But that's
Hammer-
why I want to be able to watch all of them, too. And
Yeah,
so that
no,
all of
that's
them
fair.
happening at 7 p.m. kind of sucks.
That's why and even though, like I said, it makes no sense compared to the last day of the Premier League, because that shit rocks when every team is playing at the same time and you don't really know what you need to do, like in order to like win or get points, whatever, avoid relegation. Like I love that shit.
Okay, Pete had said to Hammer, Jack Hughes, anytime goal. Let's look at it from Sports Interaction, Sportsbook, and Casino. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. Bet the action on every period, every shift, every shot with Canada's homegrown sportsbook, Sports Interaction. Ontario only, 18 plus. Please play responsibly. We are looking at Jack Hughes' anytime goal. That is 250. 2.50 if you are in Canada. Let's jump in and do an odds converter here. Figure out what 250 is for our friends in the United States. In Canada, it's 250. In America, it is, what's that?
No, do Canadians actually use those odds?
I don't know. Let's see. So 250 is, I believe, plus 150. Yeah, plus 150. You're making money off that if he scores. All Jack Hughes got to do is score, not do any stupid laughing after the game.
I think he's got 4 goals in his last 2 games against the Rangers.
Damn.
So he always scores against the Rangers. Certified Rangers killer. I like that bet.
All right, every game is your game with when you bet with Sports Interaction. From puck drop to overtime, bet with live odds on every play with easy deposits and payouts. Go to sportsinteraction.com/whatchaos to open an account. Ontario only 18+. Please play responsibly. We have so many super chats that we will not be able to get to all of them today. But Sean, there is one from Young Gritty that I want to make sure we get to, because Young Gritty has clarified the situation with the care package sent yesterday. Says Young Gritty, I feel the need to clarify. The McAvoy was to make up for the Binner thing. So Pete, that Charlie McAvoy jersey, all yours. Doesn't fit.
Doesn't fit.
But
Doesn't come close to fitting.
All yours. Get in the gym. Bulk up. Also, to those who have said, I forgot Sean, that is fake news. Trust me. Also, shout out. And then a couple of trans flags. Sean, I know what it is.
I'm scared. I'm even more scared.
Be scared.
I mean, I know that Young Gritty's not going to send me a fucking bomb, but the trust me there is the most threatening thing I've ever heard in my life.
Trust me and don't worry about it to someone who might fuck with you is
I mean, if Young Gritty's going to do the Pete thing and send me 2 jerseys, one that's going to make me want to kill him and one that's going to make me happy, that's fine, I guess. I'd be interested to see what the one that pisses me off is, but
I've been told that, I think I said this, but the Buffalo House, when we arrive, is being sent. I think you're getting at least a fresh Buffalo Sabres jersey when you arrive at the Buffalo House. And
I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long time since I've gotten a Buffalo Sabres jersey.
I think some of our friends are making sure that when we go to those Sabres playoff games that we are looking good, which, I mean, I feel like we're going to come back from Buffalo with so much shit, whether it's the jersey.
Not Pete.
Anyone's getting us jerseys? No,
Pete said
we're going to go.
he doesn't want none of that
I'll
shit.
Have the pro shop. I'm just covered on Sabres jerseys. Like, I don't want for Sabres jerseys. I have been in the windbreaker game. I could absolutely dabble in a goat head windbreaker.
Are you going to just rip my drip?
Yes. You've got great drip. There's
Rip
nothing
your
wrong with
drip
that.
because what's your windbreaker situation, Sean?
1 second.
Rip my drip is a cool phrase. I might steal that.
Rip my drip is very reminiscent of Silicon Valley Kiss My Piss.
I don't remember that, but
it's one of the bad seasons that's late.
This is the most
Alex
sacrilege
Lyon
thing I've
Sabres
ever done in
jersey
my
asks.
entire life. I have this over a Oilers hoodie, but
I remember you getting that. I didn't know that it was so light.
What do you mean so light?
Is that I can't see. I don't have Pete's
it's like a
cheaters on.
puffer. It's like a puffer. Yeah, it's a little warmer. It's not like it's like more of a coat than it is like a windbreaker necessarily. But I wanted to get a blue and gold one as well. Because the thing is, I can't be repeating outfits at these playoff games. I have an image to maintain.
We'll do one of those like fan cam yodeling videos that we like making. We'll do one of those for like pregame every game that we go to.
Speaking of Silicon Valley,
yes,
have you boys been up on your Taskmaster news?
No.
Taskmaster new season starts in a couple weeks at most, and Kumail Nanjiani on it. I'm very excited.
I think
Kumail's career turn post that was it DC or Marvel? No, the Marvel flop has been incredible. He's just doing a bunch of cool shit that it seems like he likes and wants to do, and is less concerned about like getting that bag, which I fucking love. He's doing Taskmaster. He's doing Fallout. He had a new special come out. Kumail rocks. Big time Kumail fan.
I think that he is too strong for Taskmaster. I don't want strong people on Taskmaster.
You mean like physically?
Physically strong.
No, but I think that's all. Those are all glam muscles. I don't know how much he's actually using those.
I also don't know how much strength
helps.
Really gets you anywhere.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Like Lucy's problem wasn't that like she wasn't hitting the gym.
I don't know that there's a whole lot of particular tangible skills that translate to taskmaster. I mean,
Just
I guess
being
like,
clever.
You're good
That's
at
it.
puzzles. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, that really is it.
Just got to be clever, but like smart isn't enough. You got to like be a wise ass, think like a wise ass.
And you got to be
Like,
you
you
gotta
gotta-
be weird
you
enough
gotta
to be
hate the
so
game.
different from everybody else's approach. Like James Acaster was like so weird. Sam Campbell,
Yep.
so weird. I feel like cleverness is only half of the equation. The other half is you got to be like one of the weirdest people alive.
And realistically, I don't actually care about how well people do. The only skill that actually matters is committing to the bit. Like, you just got to commit to the bit, and it's going to be entertaining.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you to, let's see, Alex Lyon. Thank you to Kumail Nanjiani. Thank you to Brad Treliving. Thank you to every move that Brad Treliving has made. Thank you
Especially
to Doug
for Bruins
Armstrong.
fans.
Yep. Thank you to Trans Day of Visibility. Thank you to
Trans
Kyle
people.
Connor. What's that?
I said to trans people. You just thank the day.
I mean, I guess I came at it a little more religiously. I thanked the day. I thanked the sun. I thanked everything on this beautiful Trans Day of Visibility.
Thank you to Penguins Jesus.
Thank you to Penguins Jesus for sure. Thank you to Stu Skinner for not saying that about Anthony Mantha. But thank you to fake Stu Skinner for following up on your viral quote. Thank you to Zach Benson because
Yes.
we've all got a song in our heart, and I like that we learned Zach's. I like that we learned like 3 hours worth of Zach's. Even not the Morgan Wallen ones, but the other ones, really, really good and tasteful. Thank you to everyone, mostly who donated and who super chatted today. We will, when we make a donation, we will post something somewhere on social media or something, so you know about it. Although, as I say it,
Drop it in the Discord.
yeah, we'll do it in the Discord or like on our
say it on the
story or
show.
something. Not trying to do. I mean, although I don't know, like I don't want it to look like performative or whatever, but like we'll put it out there in a way that you can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. And everybody else, if you didn't super chat and you want to donate, we're choosing to where are we going, Sean? Trans Lifeline.
I mean, I guess we hadn't decided, but that was one that the chat had suggested, and I looked into a little bit. Looks pretty good. Very transparent with their financials, which I like for a charity.
But there's a lot of other options that people have put in the chat. So if you want to donate to Trans Lifeline or whatever it may be, there's people in here who got you covered. All right, funny stuff, everybody. We love you. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to What Chaos here on YouTube. You will get everything, daily episodes, player interviews, and so much more. It's all here on the What Chaos YouTube. Hit subscribe.